awesome. Thank you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we actually, all of us actually have a birthday gift for you. We each spent kind of a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you're ready for this. So I went to this girl named Tina, and she lives down just south of Louisiana. She has a time machine. And so I was like, do I go back in time, like try to save 9/11? Do I like invest in Apple stock? I decided to go like way in the future and figure out like when you die, because I figured what you would want to know is like,
you don't have to go too far.
What date does my friend die? Because he's going to want to know that, because then like that way you can like plan. So when I was up there, I ended up getting and finding your obituary.
Okay.
So I don't know what the other guys did. I was like, hey, I don't want to spend that much money or time on it, but like what I ended up doing is like getting that. So I got it here. Let me just uncrypt. They still use paper in the future, which I think is kind of weird. All right, let me see what's going on here.
Mort's putting on a tie.
Yeah. All right, just read this here. I'm assuming I'm long dead at this point. We are deeply saddened and a little horny to announce the passing of Marco Panda Express Jimmy Kimmel of Boise, Idaho, who passed away.
This is a Mad Lib, right?
No, this is real. Who passed away aggressively on 9/11/2136 at the age of 150 years old. Wild. So you got some time. Surrounded and survived by his 2 wives, Lauren and Reba Conqueso, with his 9 to 11 daughters, Dorothy, Cece, Lou, Lynn, Bill, Texas Excellent Adventure, Victory, Second Lynn, Pickleball, and David Spade. Not present for the death was Banana Stan, because she was, quote, busy as hell making cheddar biscuits. Whatever that means. Okay, and then it goes on. Marco, known to his friend as Mars, but known to his mortal enemies as Sergeant Slaughter, was best known for his thick hair and butt, 1 million doll hair smile, but doll hair spelled like doll hair, and his unsuccessful made-for-TV movie called Put That Ting Down. It's a deep look into picking things up and subsequently putting them down. IMDb's junior editor called it an honest yet racist 2 out of 10. Just the longest obituary I've seen. It says here, another passion of Mars is his legacy in the music industry. After losing a bet to Dennis Rodman, he was forced into an Uncle Kracker cover band called Shrimp Triscuit. This led to a 30-year career as a backing trumpet player for a guy named Bruno, a collab that spurred the infamous Bruno Mars. I guess that makes sense. Anyways, viewings will be held at the Damon Zek's Dead Body House on North High Street. They'll serve Blatz, Old Granddad, and other crap to up the lads and keep your blood sugar up. The following day, you'll be given a slip of paper with a clue on it. What's left of his body will be hidden around town. Your job as his friend/enemy will be to solve the riddle in order to collect 1 body part each. Once all the parts are found, this is the same obit. Once all body parts are found, the Damon Zek's funeral home will assemble a body like Voltron and shoot it into space so he can be one with outer space Jesus. Weird. In lieu of flowers, he's asked for money to be donated to Joel at cringe.com, and also what he's calling his casket candy. He states, quote, put full-size bars in my casket, baby. None of that Halloween tiny shit. It's what it's made of. We love you, Mars.
Wow.
That's a wild obituary. 150, though.
That's impressive.
It feels like pretty good.
Only just begun.
Now,
call the carpenters.
Right. So with
that being said,
okay,
I had to join it. I had to write something. So on this day that is supposed to be wrought with joy, we are here to celebrate the life of Matthew Mark John Himmel, more affectionately referred to as Mars on this podcast. A name he bestowed upon himself. In the humblest way, after a Roman god. We can all agree that more appropriate god for Mars to have chosen would have been the deity Dionysus, the Greek god of male fertility. So, from his humble upbringings in the mean streets of Dublin, Ohio, to the slums of Lakeview, Illinois. Mars also succumbed to the streets if it weren't for his much more successful spouse, Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
She allowed him to live in their home and become caretaker for their 4 wonderful children. I'm sure Lauren will never admit it, but her and the children will always remember Mars whenever they hear friendly chimes and say to themselves, sorry, this is tough. Whenever a child hears chimes, Daddy's in heaven getting his shot of insulin.
Uh-huh. Beep, beep, beep. Uh-huh.
So as we all sit
Collect
and enjoy
yourself.
the humble life of Mark, Matthew, Luke, John Himmel, let us all raise a glass to Mars. Happy 40th birthday, friend.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, man.
Dear friends,
You've got the whole suit.
I first met Mars in 2023. Actually, strike that. I didn't meet Mars in 2023. I actually met him a year later. For about a year, I insisted that it was a figment of Ben's imagination, that he created an AI in order to complete a group chat and to justify starting the Upper 90 Club.
That'd be sick.
When I finally did meet Mars, he was everything I'd imagined him to be. A self-important suburban dad with Arfston hair and sleeveless shirt. How fitting that you wear a sleeveless shirt.
Even tonight. Even tonight.
I came to accept him, if for no other reason, out of pity, kind of like a boy taking in a puppy that had no idea of the hardship of the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
It was, after all, not his fault, but a result of his environment. You see, he had lived a life of affluence. Affluence?
Who knows?
Beginning his youth in the finest of Columbus suburbs, where he was padded in cushions to protect his fragile bones. His meals were served pre-chewed, fresh from his mother's jaws.
Pre-chewed.
Even to the end, he took his steaks pre-cut.
Steaks.
Anthony pre-cut steaks.
Since Mars had never been able to take care of himself, he found the one woman that would, again out of sympathy, marry him. And from sheer luck, she was willing to break her back to carry him through his adult life. In return, he agreed to remove all masculinity from his life, engaging only in activities that suited her, from yoga to couples dance.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
In order to feel better about his lack of manliness, he decided to only produce girls so he could still justify being called the man of the house. However, he didn't have the strength to parent, so his children were raised by an underpaid nanny, creating bitter and resentful children.
Underpaid.
As you might have noticed, none of them took the time to show up here today. Along with many other personal flaws, Mars lived with diabetes. He will bring this up at every opportunity. Note that I didn't say he battled diabetes, because there was no fight in this man. Even this disease he couldn't earn himself. Like with his white privilege, he was born with it. Luckily, he had friends from his sheltered childhood that kept in touch and pulled him onto their group. This was his only touch point with normal life he had. Once a week, he spent a few hours socializing with these poor souls. He referred to this as his brain rot time. His wife accepted this as this one nonconformist behavior as charity work, or give him back to the less fortunate. During at times long podcast recordings, it was always a wild guess if an overly drawn out story was a result of his boring demeanor, his drinking problem, a stroke, or his diabetes. And of course it was diabetes 1, because it was nothing but the best for him. Either way, we're all sad to see him go the way he did. Suffocation is brutal, and the irony is that he was so great with words, but somehow he managed to forget the safe word. It was Riz. Rest in peace, Mars.
Oh.
That was like way better than I thought.
Take a hard look in the mirror after that one.
What year was it that you found out, Ben?
When I went to when he died.
Yeah.
Well, let me double
I'm
check.
really old. I made it a long time.
That's like 110 years from now.
Oh yeah,
I
it
just
says-
getting really
it was
hot
on
in here with this thing.
2136 on 9/11.
A much loved husband, father, grandfather, son, brother.
Grandfather.
At that point,
Mhm.
podcast host. Farewell.
Do you have anything to
add
add?
that?
Nope.
Don't step on my toes, Ben.
Oh my god,
dude! Without
We've been
man.
doing this too long.
Yeah, I don't. We're the best. We're the best.
Oh,
Happy
God.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Thank you
birthday.
guys. Oh, that was
Actually,
fun.